Welcome to this episode of Star Wars Declassified, where we look into different facts and stories revolving around the Star Wars canon universe and lore. In today's Declassified, we'll be rewinding back in time and instead looking at the story of not only Luke Skywalker's first appearance visiting a Jedi temple, but as well his first serious and continued Jedi training by Obi-Wan Kenobi. Not long after the events of the Battle of Yavin, Luke Skywalker along with R2-D2 and C-3PO were ambushed by Imperial TIE fighters while out on a mission for Mon Mothma. The Imperial attack saw Luke's BTL-A4 Y-Wing module take serious damage, and forced the Jedi Padawan to make an emergency landing over the jungle planet of Deveron, the home world of the Deveronian species. When he did land in the town of Tikaru, Luke met two local Deveronians, Kivas and his daughter Farnay, who both agreed to repair his ship. In the meantime, Luke sensed the Force was strong on the planet and wanted to seek out where it was coming from. He then soon learned of the Temple of Edith and was sure that's what he'd been sensing all along. However, it was situated deep in the jungle and no one in the town wanted to help guide him there, having told him that the temple was forbidden along with fearing any potential Imperial entanglements. Eventually, Luke did meet one individual in the town who agreed to be his guide, an off-worlder by the name of Sarko Plank. Plank had learned that the pilot was seeking to visit the Temple of Edith, which had lain abandoned for many years, and sought out Luke himself to offer his services. Farnay knew something about this was suspicious, and in turn warned Luke that people who had traveled with Plank in the past had never returned. But while Luke appreciated Farnay's warning, he knew he had no choice but to accept, as the Force was calling him to the temple. Luke and Plank, along with R2-D2 and C-3PO, mounted two Hapabors and rode off into the jungle. Using the Force, Luke was able to find a secret entrance to the temple through a cave next to a derelict dam destroyed during the Clone Wars, with the main temple's entrance being off-limits and monitored by the Empire. However, Luke insisted on going inside alone along with the droids, informing Plank that he would be inside the temple for a few days, and would contact him on the comlink when he wanted to leave. During his stay in the temple, Luke was able to hear Obi-Wan Kenobi's voice, from whom he had received further instructions. With that, he managed to enter a secret chamber where he and the droids found 3 training remotes. Using what Obi-Wan had previously taught him on the Falcon, Luke gradually managed to pass the exercises set onto him after only a few days. It was only during his training at the temple that Luke had realized what Obi-Wan had been trying to teach him all along, and that being to trust in the Force instead of his senses, as a Jedi didn't guide the Force, but let it guide them. It was during his stay at the temple which allowed Luke to embark on a voyage of personal discovery, and with the training of the 3 remotes, he also learned how to use the lightsaber combat Form 5 to deflect their blasts. Not long after, Luke found himself surrounded and attacked by Imperials with orders to apprehend him and his fugitive starfighter, using Farnay as a hostage. Luke was outnumbered and about to surrender. From where out of nowhere, Sarko Plank emerged from the ruins. He was carrying an electrostaff and began charging towards the stormtroopers in a bid to aid Luke. Together, fighting side by side, Luke and Plank were able to defeat the Imperials with relative ease. However, as a result of the fight, Plank had witnessed Luke's lightsaber in action and his suspicions regarding Luke being a Jedi Padawan had come true. As after finishing off the remaining Imperials, just as Luke was about to thank Plank for his help, the scavenger quickly turned on him without warning. It was there where Plank revealed to Luke of how he had spent years looking for the secret entrance to the Jedi Temple, only for Luke to have now finally shown him a way in. Plank then told Luke his plans of how he was going to steal his lightsaber, melt down the droids, and loot any Jedi treasures left in the temple to pay off his debts. But knowing his chances against the Jedi Padawan were slim, Plank attacked Luke with a flash grenade, which left him unable to see or hear. Luke then started to panic, but soon he had heard Obi-Wan's voice yet again. reminding him that while his eyes and ears could deceive him, the Force was all-seeing. Luke then got up to Plank's surprise, and moving with an incredible speed using the Force and guiding him, he swung his lightsaber into Plank's chest, knocking the scavenger back. Plank then staggered and fell into a deep pit in the temple courtyard. But while having beat him for now, Luke knew he hadn't killed him despite the fatal blow. After the battle, Luke, Farnay, and the droids returned back to town, just before Imperial reinforcements began to arrive. But as Luke reclaimed his now repaired ship, he swore to Farnay that he would become a Jedi Knight and rebuild the Jedi Order, and then return to Deveron one day. As not only did the Temple of Edith still hold Jedi secrets in which he could discover and learn from, but the temple itself held a special place for Luke, being where he started his first real Jedi training. And that will do it for this episode. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like and share it, along with subscribing to the channel to not only support it, but keep up with Star Wars news, gaming, and canon lore released every week. And consider following me on Twitter and Facebook to never miss out on the latest Star Wars related content. And if you want to support the channel, do check out our Patreon page. Or if you want to continue the conversation, join us on the official Silo Discord server. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.